and welcome back to Football Made Simple. It was winner take all in the Champions League Group H as Nagelsmann's RB Leipzig hosted Solskjaer's United. With PSG expected to beat Istanbul, a loss would have seen United drop into the Europa League. And in the end, the game ended 3-2 to Leipzig thanks to goals by Angelino, Kluivert and Haidara, whilst Fernandes and Pogba netted for United. The XG indicated United had the better quality opportunities though throughout the match, 2.26 to 1.67. But what tactics did both managers use? Let's take a look. And if you want even more content whilst helping to support the channel, consider checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/footballmadesimple. You'll get early access to videos, exclusive videos, as well as access to the upcoming FMS video podcast. A quick reminder of the formations used by both sides, as seen on the OneFootball app. OneFootball will get you match updates, formation updates, as well as player and team stats, and so much more. And the best part is, you can get it absolutely free through the sponsored link in the description below. Let's start with what Nagelsmann looked to do in possession, before moving on to Oli. From the goal kick, Leipzig would drop two centre-backs alongside Gulaschi, whilst Mukiele advanced into the right-back zone so that Haidara could advance even higher. However, United were looking to press high throughout the match as they went behind early, so Fernandes often looked to push wide to pick up the man, whilst the pivots backed up the press. And Leipzig actually lost the ball in this zone a few times, leading to dangerous situations for United. But generally, when they played out in the first half, we saw Fernandes stay deeper, looking to cut the route into the deepest pivot, Campbell. This meant Leipzig had a 3 vs 2 advantage in deeper areas, and they could usually look to play out. And generally, with Fernandes being higher and United playing with wingbacks, Leipzig looked to utilise the pockets of space either side of Matic and McTominay. This was first facilitated by committing both of their fullbacks high and wide to keep United's own wingbacks near the touchline, whilst Nkunku often essentially played as a midfielder. And by starting Forsberg and Olmo up top, they essentially had two alternating false nines who would look to drop deeper into the midfield region. This meant that if the ball was shifted to the right hand side, United's pivots would be occupied by Sabitzer and a false nine, leaving Nkunku free in this space. And if they attacked down the other side first, it was Sabitzer who was free to receive the ball in this space after a quick switch. This also meant that there were 1v1s out wide at all times. This was particularly evident on the left hand side, with Nkunku often receiving the ball in this space and releasing Angelino higher up the pitch to look for the cross. And in fact, the left hand side was their preferred attacking side. This led to several dangerous situations. So, as United had spare wider centre-backs in Shaw and Lindelof, as the game went on, they looked to be more front foot when looking to confront the extra midfielder. This was effective at times, but still left gaps in behind, as the defence had to restructure. The first goal exemplifies a lot of this. We see Olmo has dropped deeper into midfield, meaning that Matic cannot immediately move to cover Sabitzer without leaving Olmo free. We see Nkunku is also free as the United pivots are dragged across. Shaw is drawn out to confront the extra midfielder, forcing Maguire to cover Olmo, and so too the rest of the defence has to shift, meaning that Wan-Bissaka, who would have been on Angelino, is central instead. Sabitzer gets the cross in, and Angelino finishes brilliantly at the back post. The second goal is also interesting in the build-up. Again, the ball is on the left and McTominay is drawn to Nkunku and Forsberg has dropped to draw Matic. So, Shaw has pushed up from left centre-back to confront Sabitzer, who's in the pocket wide of the pivots, meaning that Tejes has to be more narrow than usual, freeing Haidara wide to receive the ball. Haidara then finds Zabitzer, and as Shaw is still high, the back 5 has to shift to a 4, meaning Wan-Bissaka is now narrow, freeing Angelino who receives. Tejas then has to cover the man Shaw would have been covering at the back post, and Haidara ghosts in to score. But there were drawbacks to Leipzig's shape. Nkuku and Zabitzer tended to advance much higher, leaving Campbell isolated in midfield. So if there was a turnover, quick transitions meant that RB were easily overrun in the midfield, with Greenwood, Rashford and Fernandes finding themselves in dangerous positions on more than one occasion. But what were some of United's attacking patterns? Since they went ahead early, Leipzig did drop slightly deeper, meaning United could often find the centre-backs in the first phase. And Leipzig shifted their pressing shape depending on which way United went. If they went down the right, Nkuku tended to push out wide to assist the press, with Zabitzer tucking into midfield. But the left was United's preferred attacking region. This is because they could more easily create wide overloads as they had two natural left backs in Shaw and Tejas. So, Shaw could push wide, allowing Tejas high as a winger. And in these scenarios, it was Zabitzer who pushed high and wide to press Shaw, to try and prevent the progression. At the same time, Nkuku would tuck into the midfield to prevent any potential midfield overload. Leipzig's wingbacks could be drawn high at the same time when pressing their respective men. This would leave space in the wider regions, as Greenwood and Rashford tended to occupy the centre-backs. We often saw Bruno look to push wide left into the space to look to get on the end of a ball and look to create from out wide. However, as the match wore on, Leipzig seemed more content to sit on their sizable lead and drop deeper and deeper. And in the second half, Solskjaer looked for various solutions, bringing Pogba on, as with Leipzig deep, they could afford to have more creative presences deep, which is why Van der Beek came on as well. Their shape could look like a 4-4-2 diamond at times when Greenwood was up alongside Rashford. It could just as easily be a 4-2-3-1, with Van der Beek and Fernandes rotating consistently. However, despite having these players on the pitch, they struggled to create high-quality opportunities, at least from open play. Overall, it was another far from convincing performance by United, and in open play, Nagelsmann's tactics were a cut above. But the season is still young, and United could have success in the Europa League, and will look to make things right during the Manchester derby. But a variety of tactics were used in this match, so let me know what else you noticed down in the comments below. But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.